Sometimes the hardest goodbye is not spoken with words. It happens quietly, in a moment no one else sees. A moment when you finally choose your self-respect over someone you still love, and they don't realize what it means until it's already too late. Because real endings rarely look dramatic. They don't always come with shouting, tears, or final conversations. Most of the time, they arrive softly, disguised as calm. There comes a moment in every deep love story that no one prepares you for. Not the first argument, not the sleepless nights, not even the moment you decide to walk away. It's the moment when something inside you goes still. The moment you realize you are tired of explaining your feelings to someone who keeps misunderstanding them, tired of proving your worth to someone who keeps questioning it, tired of shrinking yourself just to keep a connection alive. You still love them. And that's what makes this moment so painful. Because love doesn't disappear overnight. It lingers. It stays attached to memories, to habits, to hope. But something else begins to rise. Quietly, steadily. Self-respect. And self-respect doesn't beg. It doesn't chase. It doesn't plead to be chosen. It simply stands. At first, even you don't realize what's happening. You just notice that you're reacting less, explaining less, waiting less. You stop replaying conversations in your head. You stop drafting messages you never send. You stop measuring your worth by how quickly they respond. And one day, they look at you and see it. Not anger, not bitterness, but distance. A calm distance that feels unfamiliar. You're no longer asking them to understand. You're no longer asking them to stay. You're no longer asking them to choose you. You're standing there, quiet, composed, grounded in yourself, with a dignity that speaks louder than anything you ever said when you were hurting. And in that moment, something shifts inside them. Because they suddenly understand something they never expected to face. They didn't lose you when you pulled away. They didn't lose you when you stopped calling. They didn't even lose you when you walked out the door. They lost you when you stopped needing them. That realization hits differently, because needing them was where their power lived. It was where they felt secure. It was where they felt important. And now that need is gone. They see it in the way you no longer wait. In the way you no longer try to fix what they won't. In the way your peace no longer depends on their presence. You haven't become cold. You haven't become distant out of spite. You've become whole. And that is far more unsettling than anger ever could be. Because anger still reaches for connection. Silence doesn't. They start replaying moments in their mind, looking for the exact point where things changed. Wondering when they stopped being the center of your emotional world. They remember how available you used to be, how patient, how forgiving, how you stayed, even when it hurt you. And now, standing in front of this version of you, steady, self-aware, no longer pleading, they feel something they can't name at first. Loss. Not the loss of a relationship, but the loss of access. Access to your emotions. Access to your energy. Access to the version of you that once put them before yourself. And that's when the truth settles in. You didn't stop loving them because they weren't enough. You stopped abandoning yourself because you finally were. This story is about that moment. The moment when love and dignity stand on opposite sides, and you choose yourself. It's about what really goes through their mind when they realize they can no longer control how you feel, when their silence no longer shakes you. Access to the version of you that once put them before yourself. And that's when the truth settles in. You didn't stop loving them because they weren't enough. You stopped abandoning yourself because you finally were. This story is about that moment. The moment when love and dignity stand on opposite sides, and you choose yourself. It's about what really goes through their mind when they realize they can no longer control how you feel, when their silence no longer shakes you, when their presence is no longer required for your happiness. It's about the quiet panic that follows, the regret that arrives too late, and the realization that the version of you they took for granted no longer exists. Because choosing yourself doesn't look powerful from the outside. It looks calm, it looks quiet, it looks like peace, but inside, it is the bravest decision you will ever make. And by the end of this story, you may finally understand why walking away with dignity hurts them more than begging ever come, stay with me. 1. The first shock. Why aren't you chasing me anymore? At first, they don't understand what's happening. They're used to a certain version of you, the version that checked their phone every 10 minutes, the version that waited, the version that forgave too easily, the version that always came back, no matter how careless they were. To them, your love felt permanent, guaranteed, unshakable, like gravity. They believed you would always orbit around their world. So when you stop chasing, when you stop asking questions, when you stop trying to fix things alone, it feels strange, almost unnatural. They tell themselves it's temporary. She's just tired. He'll come back. They always do. But days pass, then weeks, and you don't return to your old shape. You're not angry, you're not dramatic, you're not cold, you're peaceful, and that scares them because anger means you still care. Silence means you've started letting go. They begin checking your social media, rereading old messages, looking for signs that you're still emotionally available, and slowly, painfully, they realize something has shifted. You are no longer orbiting their world. You've built your own. And for the first time, they feel what you felt for so long: uncertainty, insecurity, and the fear of being replaced, not by another person, but by your own self-respect. 2. The silent comparison, when they realize you've outgrown them. At some point, without warning, they begin to compare, not out of jealousy at first, not out of anger, but out of quiet confusion. They look at you and something feels unfamiliar. You speak differently now. You listen differently. You carry yourself with a calm confidence that was never there before. You are no longer asking for permission to exist. You no longer measure your worth by their attention. You no longer shape your moods around their presence. You no longer accept emotional crumbs and call it love. And this change unsettles them. Once, you needed them. Once, they were your emotional center, your safe place, your reference point. But now, you seem whole without them. They notice how you smile without trying to impress, how you walk into rooms without searching for their approval, how you speak about your dreams without including them in every sentence. And a painful question forms in their mind: when did I stop being important to you? They remember the version of you that was softer, more vulnerable, more dependent, the version that would have stayed even when it hurt, and they miss that version, not because it was healthier for you, but because it made them feel powerful. Standing in front of this stronger, wiser, emotionally grounded version of you, they feel smaller, less certain, less secure, less in control, because you are no longer growing toward them. You are growing beyond them, and deep down, they know they are watching someone they once took for granted become someone they no longer deserve. 3. The quiet panic, when they realize they can't control you anymore. There is a moment that arrives quietly. No arguments, no dramatic scenes, no final goodbye. Just a realization that settles into their chest like a heavy weight. They no longer have power over your emotions. Once, a single message could change your entire mood. Once, a few careless words could make you doubt yourself. Once, silence could make you anxious, restless, desperate for reassurance. You used to react. You used to overthink. You used to explain yourself. You used to try harder when they pulled away. But now, their absence doesn't shake you. Their coldness doesn't wound you the same way. Their approval no longer feels like oxygen. And this terrifies them, because emotional control is subtle. It never looks like manipulation. It looks like, I'm just busy. It looks like, you're too sensitive. It looks like, let's talk later. For a long time you accepted it. You adjusted. You compromised. You shrank. Until one day you didn't. One day you chose peace over chaos, self-respect over attachment, clarity over confusion, and they felt it. They felt it when you stopped asking, do you still care? They felt it when you stopped waiting for replies. They felt it when you stopped rearranging your life around them. Now, when they try to pull you back with nostalgia, half-promises, or emotional breadcrumbs, you don't chase. You smile politely. You keep your distance. You keep your distance. You protect your heart. And in that quiet space between you, panic grows. Because they understand something terrifying. They can no longer reach you. Not emotionally, not mentally, not spiritually. You are free. And freedom is something they never thought you would choose without them. 4. The regret, when they finally see what they lost. Regret does not arrive loudly. It doesn't crash into their life like a storm. It seeps in slowly, quietly, patiently. It appears in ordinary moments, driving alone at night, scrolling through old photos, hearing a song that once belonged to both of you, and suddenly they remember. Not the arguments, not the misunderstandings, not the excuses they used to justify their distance. They remember your loyalty, your patience, your emotional generosity. They remember how you stayed when leaving would have been easier, how you believed in them when they doubted themselves, how you loved them in ways they never fully understood. And that is when it hurts, because now they see it clearly. You were not asking for too much. You were asking for consistency, for honesty, for emotional safety. You were asking to be chosen the same way you chose them every day, but they were comfortable, distracted, careless. They thought love was permanent. They thought you would always adjust, always forgive, always return. They didn't realize that every time they ignored your feelings, minimized your pain, or chose convenience over commitment, they were teaching you how to live without them. Now, when they see you thriving, laughing without them, building a life that no longer includes their name, it breaks something inside, because they finally understand. You didn't leave because you stopped loving them. You left because you finally started loving yourself. And that realization is heavier than any goodbye. 5. The ultimate truth. Why your dignity became your greatest power. In the end, what they struggle with most is not losing you. It's understanding how you found the strength to walk away without hatred, without revenge, without bitterness. You didn't try to make them jealous. You didn't beg them to see your worth. You didn't destroy yourself to prove a point. You simply chose yourself. And that choice changed everything, because dignity is quiet. It does not shout. It does not demand attention. It does not need validation. It stands calmly in its truth. It says, I love you deeply, but I will not abandon myself to keep you. I gave you my heart, but I will not give you my soul if you cannot protect it. I deserve peace, even if it means walking alone. When they see you living like this, balanced, emotionally aware, secure in your own presence, they feel something they never expected. Respect. Not the kind that comes from fear, not the kind that comes from control, the kind that comes from witnessing someone choose growth over comfort. They realize you were never weak for loving them. You were brave, brave for staying, brave for trying, brave for hoping, and even braver for leaving. When love became a place of pain, your dignity became your boundary. Your self-worth became your compass. Your healing became your revolution, and somewhere, quietly, in the corners of their thoughts, they carry you. Not as someone they lost, but as someone who taught them what real emotional strength looks like. Because the truth is this, When your dignity becomes stronger than your love, you don't just walk away from a person, you walk toward yourself, and that is the most powerful ending of all. If this story reached you, it's because some part of you recognized yourself in it. Not the pain, but the growth, not the loss, but the strength it took to keep going. You didn't lose love, you found yourself. And if you're still healing, still learning how to choose peace without guilt, know this: you're not alone on this path. Stay here. Walk this journey with us. Subscribe to Pure Wisdom. Like this video if these words felt true to your heart. And share it with someone who needs to remember their worth tonight. Your story isn't over, and the strongest part of you is just beginning.